Eli Lilly had his Q2 2025 earnings report. The stock went down massively, and we're going to report on it. Also, we're going to go over his earnings report. We're going to do a chart analysis, some support resistance zone details here. Then we're going to do a kind of a sentiment deep dive, because it's not only earnings that drive some stocks, it's also sentiment. Now, we're also going to do a probability prediction here for its next earnings, where the price will be until then. And of course, we're going to do a little bit of price prediction for the short, medium, and long term. So I'm Norbert PM, this is Wealth Tom, and let's just get started with Eli Lilly's results. So they reported the Q2 results 2025, and they had some pretty good stuff to report. So revenue 15.6 billion, up 38% year to year. That is a non-GAAP EPS of 6.31 cents, which is up 61% year to year. And of course, we have here a 62 billion raise fall guidance. So why Eli Lilly's stock is down, I'm going to come into that just in a couple of seconds, but it has a pretty good earnings report, really strong, and also good future outlook. So also strong IV products like Mounjaro and Zepbound remain their star drivers. So wherever the stock was down, we're going to cover that and also where our predictions will be for the future. So investors' sentiment is a bit skittish because the stock right after the earnings plunged 14%. So let's just bring up the stock chart here. Take a look at Lilly. You see here a massive dump of the stock. This is a 1 year. It even dumped today even more. And then if you take a look, so on the RSI, it's already oversold. And if we take a look, this is a 1 year. If you take a look on the 5 year, it's almost hit the 200-day moving average, where of course in our case on the 1 year chart, it always surpassed. So everything after this is a trend change. Now, is this the end of Eli Lilly? First of all, let's just zoom out. When in doubt, zoom out. Let's do a analysis on Lilly from, where did it start? 1971. What can you see here? Well, this little dump is the biggest dump ever, but it's also a stock that just performed and did not lose its grip, excepting here from the 2000s into 2010. So 10 years of suffering. Is this the big pullback for Lilly? I would say not, but also let's go now a little bit of stock analysis. So first of all, what was the main driver? It was a reflecting on disappointing on its oral because it Ozempic and Mounjaro and Zepbound, not Ozempic, sorry. Mounjaro and Zepbound are intravenous. You have to get a shot. Now, I don't like getting shots. Actually, I hate them. But the pill, the drug pill, just help me pronounce this, Orforglipron, which delivered just a 11.5% placebo-adjusted weight loss, underwhelming. It's Novo's injectable benchmark, which was 14 to 15%, and raising then the concerns over the tolerability, or that basically is not going to make people lose that much weight, because 11% weight loss, 11.5%, sorry, placebo-adjusted is not that much. So the outlook for the stock currently for 2030 is at 21.6 billion to 13 billion. So it's upside down, basically. 1 year average price target, on the other hand, is 950 to 1020. So it's up here. That's just what analysts say. Now, first things first, the stock is oversold right now. So if we go here on a daily, so this is 1 year, but on a daily basis, we look that the stock, it does look that the stock is majorly oversold. We have here the stock currently, it's still trading hours as $633 a share, and it's under, so the 200, the 100, the 50, and the 20-day moving average are one above the other. This always means that we are getting bearish on the stock. So what I'm going to do now a reverse Fibonacci retracement. So we're going to go to from the highs to the lows. Okay, let's drag it out here. So our first target would be the 20 3.6 retracement, so basically it's going to go up and then maybe come down again. If it holds, and well, if it holds, it first of all needs to surpass the 20-day moving average, and I believe until it comes up here, maybe even the 50-day moving average would have already moved in there. So be very, very careful with Lilly. This has major resistance to the upside. It could go now, just like United Health and Novo Nordisk, which I also own, both of them, into a major correction. This doesn't need to happen, but it could go. Now, it's still a Trump play, I would say. So we have our resistance zones somewhere in the 700 range. Then the next one will be in the $750 range. And then we have our $800 at the 50 Fibonacci retracement. So moving indicators, RSI deeply oversold at currently, let's say at 25.07. And if we also just go after the sentiment, if you just do a deep dive on the internet, you will see that the old drug is a disappointment. It overshadows the strong core earnings. So this is sentiment driven, okay? The fundamentals are still okay. They're still making great sales. They're growing revenue. They are okay. So let's do a probabilistic outcome here. And I would say in the next 1 to 4 weeks, if there are no major market changes, which then dump or spike the market, most likely outcome is we're going to go up here and test the this very first resistance level, which is the 23.6 moving average. Not moving average, Fibonacci retracement barrier. So this would be at the $700 range. Now, it doesn't need to go all up here. It can then bounce, and depending if it moves up and bounces around here, we could see it go upwards. But I would say the stock will come up here and retest it. If this happens in the medium term, 1 to 3 months, I would say it's going to test this range right here, where the 20-day moving average will be then, and the 38.2% Fibonacci retracement will also live. And for a longer term, I would say if this goes well, we could also come back here at the $800 range. So am I bullish on the stock? Well, no, I'm not. And also, you know, I'm not revealing my investments. I'm only revealing my sales at the end of the week. So definitely check those out. I mean, what I sold, what I did it, how much profit or loss I made on that trade. So all my trades are in the weekend edition. But let's just say short term, 1 to 4 weeks, a 680, 700-ish zone. Then on the medium term, I would say that we are going to see a 650, 760 zone somewhere here. And if all of these happen, then you could see a retest of the 50 here. All this being said, take care, because this is now a dangerous stock to hold for the long term, or for the short and medium term, I would say. For the longer term, if it has, let's go to the 5-year here. If the 200-day moving average here is broken, which I believe, let me just reset the scale here. It never ever happened. So it did break here, but it came up back again. Also, whoa, underneath of it. Okay, so it did happen. But then it went into a multi-year correction, as you can see here. So for the long term, be careful with Lilly. For the short term, maybe it's a good swing trade. But as always, this is not investment advice, because I cannot see the future. So do your own research. I'm no BM, and I protect wealth. So catch you next time. Like, subscribe. Bye-bye.